The logical positivist, Stokes tells us, picture of science turned out to be heavily doctored. Their photoshopped version was pristine and perfect. In fact, it was a little too perfect, eerily smooth, and plastic-like. Up close, it didn't look human, right? and so it began to unravel, right? And he tells us that then in the next chapter he says, I'm going to argue that when we do take time to look closely at scientific methods, those of us who pride ourselves on our no-nonsense skeptical stance will have good reason to be skeptical about important features of science, right? And about the status of current scientific theories. Now notice, he says, of course, this claim can be easily misconstrued as saying we should be skeptical of all things science, but that's not what he's saying, right? He says that's not my point, since that isn't his view. Rather, my point, he says, and he's going to talk to us about this, is that anyone who takes skepticism seriously should also be skeptical about the claim that science is somehow in conflict with God's existence, right?
Yeah. So again, especially in the next chapter, which will probably be 2 episodes within itself, because there's a lot to unpack there. But it's not the fact that he's critiquing the fact that science fails or isn't possible to do. He's undermining the fact of we have this kind of laboratory, clean room, disinfected view of science where, again, it's men in lab coats, they're standing around computers with blinking numbers or titrating their thing. And what happens from there is, okay, I observe this, my theory is X. I do experiment Y. I get result Z. Does it prove my theory? Yes, no, okay, no, then I return back and create a new theory and do all this again. And it's not that clean. It's not that
it's not that simple.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that. It's a whole lot more complicated.
Right. And in the next chapter, he does a really good job of just talking about even getting to a theory, which you think, oh, okay, well, you just come up with kind of the best explanation. He goes into good development of exactly how scientists come up with theories, stay with theories, check theories, falsify theories, and that's just the what we would consider the easy part. Then it's coming up with all the type of experimentation that you do, coming up with the theory itself. or how you test it, how you verify it, what you allow, what you don't allow, and so the next chapter is really good. But again, he's not critiquing that you can't do science, because even Christians who hold or deists who hold to the idea that science is the way in which God has ordered things, and so we can know that because of who God is. So not even Christians would say we don't have the ability to do science. It's just that we're grounded on the fact that the ability to do science is within the framework of a Christian worldview, at least from our standpoint.
And it's a human enterprise. And so it has all the shortcomings and problems that every human enterprise has. Right. Yeah. And so that's what we'll look at next time.